noticed bad behavior has become normalized at interscholastic athletic events? Some fans seem angry. They lack civility toward one another. Some even get aggressive and unruly. Time out! What is going on? This has to stop. Let's not forget, school sports aren't just about winning. And they're definitely not an excuse to take your frustrations out on the official or the opponent. They're about teaching lessons like perseverance, respect, and empathy, so students can learn and grow as people, not just as players. We all have a role to play in setting a good example for our students and teaching them these important values. So fans, it's time to step up your game and behave positively at interscholastic athletic events in Idaho.
This message presented by the IHSAA and the Idaho Athletic Administrators Association.
May I offer you one of our finest selections? Delicious, rich in protein, and locally produced right here in Idaho. Excellent choice, sir.
Satisfied dairy customer, aisle 10.
Dad's home.
I'm home.
Did you get the good stuff?
He's bringing it up. He's going in. He scored!
Idaho's 529 can be used at any in-state or out-of-state 2- or 4-year college or university. Can be used at a trade school for an apprenticeship.
Whatever it is that your kid is interested in, that's available for them to use the fund.
I really like the flexibility. It gives Wild the opportunity to pursue a whole array of training.
So whatever your child's passion is, you can support that.
To learn more, go to idsaves.org.
Vaping sucks you in quick, and the more you vape, the harder it is to quit. Not to mention all the chemicals and health problems. That's why thousands of teens are joining My Life, My Quit. Visit mylifemyquit.com or text Start My Quit to 36072.
It's that time again. Time to get the health insurance you need for next year. Open enrollment is the time for you to enroll in, renew, or change your coverage. At Your Health Idaho, you can save money with a tax credit on the plan that's best for you and your family. Don't wait. Open enrollment ends December 15th. More coverage, less cost. Only at yourhealthidaho.org. Enroll by December 15th.
At Valleywide Cooperative, we're here when you need us. For 100 years, we have been here to help you with food, fuel, and good old-fashioned advice. And for us, serving is more than a job, it's a way of life, which is why we pour so much into the communities around us. We've employed hundreds of your neighbors. We take pride in that, and in giving back millions in sponsorships, grants, donations, and scholarships. It's our way of saying thanks. We're Valleywide, and yesterday, today, and tomorrow, we're here for you.
Good evening and welcome into this IdahoSports.com GameStreams production of the 2025 Idaho High School Football Playoffs on the NFHS Network. This postseason broadcast is presented by Project Filter, your local Toyota dealer, Your Health Idaho, Next Steps Idaho, Ideal Idaho's College Savings Plan, the Idaho Bowl, Valley-Wide Cooperative, and the Idaho Office of Highway Safety. Hi, everyone, and welcome in to the broadcast booth. My name is Joel Richardson, and I'm joined by Fuzz Taylor on the camera. Got a great matchup in these quarterfinals, 5A quarterfinals. Hillcrest Knights playing host, if you'll call it that, here at Westmark Stadium to the Lakeland Hawks. Both these teams coming in with one loss on the season. Should be a good one here at Westmark Stadium. Brennan Mossholder, the head coach for Hillcrest Knights in his 5th season, leading his team so far to a 9-1 record. Assistant coach is going to be leaning on tonight Dustin Medlin as your defensive coordinator. Brennan Mossholder will call the game on offense for Lakeland. Again, only one loss this season. That loss to Sandpoint was a 4-point loss earlier, but they are 9-1. Backed by head coach Mike Schroeder in his 4th season, 26-16 overall in his career with Lakeland. Playoff appearances in all 4 years in this 4th season, with last year's semis showdown a new height for the team. Last year's game was a snow game, big-time snow here at Hillcrest in the semis, where Lakeland fell to Highland in that one late, as Highland was able to run the football late in that 4th quarter and take that win and went on to win the whole thing for the 5A title. Brennan Mossholder, back-to-back coach of the year for the Hillcrest Knights football team in his 5th season, previously at Yamhill Carleton High School from 2016 to 2021. Captains lined up at midfield. Hillcrest won the toss, and they elect to defer. So the first win of the night goes to Hillcrest. Hillcrest will be defending the south side, and they will force Lakeland to go left to right on your screen, going north to south. The lights are flashing. An amazing stadium here at Westmark. Impressive stuff for Hillcrest, a great donation from the Westmark Bank Credit Union, bringing the field and all the theatrics this season and for this quarterfinals showdown. Winner of this game goes to the semis, the Final Four of 5A. Hillcrest won last year, the whole thing, hoping to get back to that title game. They've won 3 titles, 2008, 2018, 2024. Last week they beat Shelley by a score of 49-15. And really no problem compared to the first time they played Shelley, which brought them here for Lakeland. Last week, they beat Lewiston in overtime 28-27, which could end up, you wonder if that might hurt them as this game rolls on. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Like we mentioned, Hillcrest elected to defer. They will receive the ball in the second half. So the lights are all going on, and we are on for this quarterfinals matchup. Number 17, Rylan Borgman, big-time kicker for this Hillcrest squad. Coach Brennan Mossholder loves his kicker, gives him as many opportunities as possible to kick the ball through the uprights and kick it in and through for touchbacks. Tons of touchbacks this year for Hillcrest. That's an exact stat. And here's an end-over-end kick to start this first quarter of action. Collected about the 2-yard line. Nice return, gets all the way to just beyond the 20-yard line. First down, Lakeland to start this one. Lakeland is housed in Rathdrum, Idaho, outside of Coeur d'Alene, about 8 hours from Idaho Falls. And the team actually left for Idaho Falls Thursday morning. They stopped in Butte, Montana for practice. And then they traveled to Dillon. They were there this morning until about 11 a.m. where they took off to Idaho Idaho Falls, have some fun, practice, watch some film, and get ready for game day. Here's a run to the left side to start this one, pushing the pile. Good stuff to that far left side. Carry by Tamagni, about 5-yard gain for the junior running back. And really couldn't grab a tackler there because really was the entire defensive line on the tackle. Really didn't give their linebackers time to get there. Quarterback in the gun finds a nice hold of the right side, bounces outside. Got to beat a couple tacklers, and he's finally tackled, gets past the 50-yard line all the way to the 41-yard line. Big first down run there. So Lakeland getting that push on the line early. 2 straight runs from Tamagni. Quarterback in shotgun. He'll hand it off to Tamagni. This time he's gobbled up in the backfield, going nowhere. Stood up. Great tackle there from number 66, Damian Simmons. And we'll get into our key players in just a moment for Lakeland. Of course, watch for Peyton Hillman, the quarterback. Never too hot, cold, nice and steady presence there in the backfield, along with Griffin Tamagni. Already called his name a number of times. He's got great vision, picks defenses apart, slippery runner. Last week he had 16 rushes for 70 yards, 3 touchdowns, even 2 receptions for 10 yards. Now they put a man in motion, and there was actually a fake. Quarterback takes it, but he's going nowhere. So after a couple good runs from Lakeland, 2 stops in a row for the Hillcrest defense, and now it's 3rd and 13, ball on the 44-yard line. Hillman is a good runner, but that time Hillcrest defense snuffed it out. Good call there from Dustin Medlin, the defensive coordinator for the Hillcrest Knights. Hillman in the shotgun, running back on his left hip. It's going to be a slant to the left side, and that is completed. To the tall, trying to grab that number there. To the tall number 12, thought it was him. That's the guy we'll be calling his name quite often, Jaron Yeager. One of the key players to this game. He's 6'5" and speedy, and on that one, they kind of lined him up in the slot, and they allowed him to do a quick 5 and in. And now it is 4th and 5. They're going to go for it. It's going to be a throw over the middle. That pass is completed and goes out of bounds, crossing the 25-yard line. And I believe that was Hunter Averett on the catch. Hunter Averett gets his first reception of the season. And Hillman takes it himself, gets to the 17, about a 4-yard gain for Hillman on that one. So far, Tamagni and Hillman with the majority of the reps, majority of the rushes. And the Hawks moving this football nice. And it looks like we're going to get a false start. First flag of the game for either team. And for sure, it's a false start, so they'll go 5 yards back. Key players for this team, Peyton Hillman for the Hawks, Griffin Tamagni, the running back, and then slot wide receiver Jace Taylor and the wideout Jaron Yeager. Listen for those players as this game goes on. And then for Hillcrest, of course, Tyson Sweetwood, we'll talk about him. There's Dak Sargent, Mason Davis, Tate Prince, Elam Minor when they're on offense. Hawks moving nicely. Another outside throw. That pass is completed. Fighting for extra yards. Great stuff. Crosses the 10-yard line. And that pass was completed to Emmett, the freshman, Revundaneda. And had to check his name during pregame. That's a tough one, but a great last name, Revundaneda. Only a sophomore. He's 5'11", 195. Great catch there. Hawks mixing the ball around really nicely. 2 split back in the shotgun. He bounced to the right side. He's got room. Touchdown, but this one might be coming back. Looked like there was a block in the back on that touchdown run. We'll wait for the call. And it's a hold, not a block in the back, but still, this one will not be a touchdown. They'll go back, and they'll try again. So the ball is still on the 19-yard line, still in the red zone, 1st and goal on the 19. First and 19, 1st and goal. Here's another throw to the flat, and he's tackled. Great open field tackle, pass completed to number 3, Jace Taylor. And he gets, they're going to say, well, they're going to say he only got 1 yard on the catch. Thought there was more there for the wideout. And so far, the Hawks throwing that ball really nicely. The slants into the flat, screen plays, using play action. Here's another just quick button hook play to that left side. And he's tackled immediately. And that'll bring up 3rd and goal, ball on the 14-yard line. So a gain of 4 on that pass. Just about 5:30 left in this one. Ball on the 14-yard line, 3rd and long. Got to get to the end zone. Quarterback is flushed out. Throws across the body. Touchdown, Lakeland. Jaron Yeager for the touchdown. An outside slant. And Hillman fives Yeager. So the PAT is good as the extra point is good as well. Had to make sure from the officials. So Yeager gets the 14-yard touchdown pass, and Lakeland picks apart the Hillcrest defense on that opening drive.
This broadcast is sponsored by our power boosters, Java Express, Sunnyside Automotive, MVP Rentals, The Roof Resource, Grand Peaks Affordable Quality Healthcare, Teton Auto Group, and Titan Machinery, who is your source for new and used tractors, combines, balers, and excavators, loaders, backhoes, and wheel loaders. Their 5 Idaho locations serve the agricultural, construction, and landscaping industries of eastern Idaho. Titan Machinery offers the most advanced new farm and construction equipment in the world, and they back their equipment with world-class service parts and financial solutions. They can get you into your new equipment and into the field quickly with real peace of mind. Find out more online at titanmachinery.com.
Appreciate all our power boosters and sponsors helping us bring this game to you. An IdahoSports.com GameStreams production on NFHS Network. And here's kind of a side spiral on that kick. Great return here from Hillcrest's Ethan Saunders. And so gets the ball all the way to the 27-yard line. He collected it at about the 3-yard line. So good return from Saunders, 24-yarder. And it'll be our first chance to see this Hillcrest Knights offense in these quarterfinals. Split back in the under center, 3 backs actually. They go up the middle. And not much push there by Sargent. He'll get about almost a 3-yard gain. And on that touchdown drive, finished by Jaron Yeager with that 14-yard touchdown catch, really methodical stuff. And just picking apart the Hillcrest defense with throws, a few runs, but really quick slants to the outside, using that flat. Great offensive drive for Lakeland to start this game. Here's a run to the right side, which doesn't get much, maybe a yard. That'll bring up 3rd and waiting for that 3rd and 5 for the official spot. So 2 more yards for Dak Sargent on his 2nd carry of the game. So quarterback once again, Sweetwood under center, the player of the year from last year. This time a handoff to the left side, a little more space, and he'll get the first down, then maybe an extra yard. Good hard run there from number 23, Elam Miner. Miner has had a sensational kind of second half of the season. One of the keys to this Hillcrest offense is the sophomore running back, Elam Miner. And talking to Brennan Mossholder pre-game, said they need him to continue to step up. If Elam Miner has a big game, they're going to win most games, if not all of them. Play action, Sweetwood throws over to a near side, and that's pass is completed. Tackled at the 21-yard line. Perfect throw from Sweetwood. And receiver completes that catch, no problem. And Dak Sargent hauled that one in all the way to the 21-yard line. So 3 or 4 straight runs, and then they take a chance to this near side, right down the sideline. They haul it in for a long gain, 1 yard from the red zone. Sweetwood under center, hands it off to trying to find that number 10 on the roster. I'm not seeing one. Well, we're going to include him, and hopefully we can get a name relatively shortly. Sweetwood is, again, under center. He's going to take it himself. He's got 3 blockers right in front of him. Hard running from Sweetwood, crosses the 10. Solid run from Sweetwood, would not go down, kept those legs churning. So another run from the Knights gives them 1st and goal on the 5-yard line. Sweetwood under center. It'll be a pitch play. He's tripped up, but he gets in. However, there is a flag thrown laundry on the field. And so this one probably coming back. Another good run from Dak Sargent. And that is a 10-yard penalty on the hold, so they'll march back. And no touchdown yet for Dak Sargent and this Hillcrest offense. Dak Sargent, last week, this whole season, has rushed for a total of 12 touchdowns. Tyson Sweetwood, the quarterback, for 15 touchdowns himself. A little tricky formation as they move out 2 wide, 1 at the bottom of your screen. Sweetwood finds his check down. That Sargent cuts inside and gets gobbled up by 3 tacklers and makes up some of that lost yardage on the hold. Gets almost to the 10-yard line, so it'll bring up 3rd and goal. Head coach Mossholder, he wanted to pound the rock on offense. He said they were going to try some super heavy run plays that they, we'll call it, borrowed from Shelley in their 2 games they played against them this season. Knew it was going to be a cold night and wanted to run the ball, really pound the rock. And here's Sweetwood himself trying to add to his total touchdowns. He continues to move those legs. And are they going to say he's in? No, he's short of the goal line. Half yard short. Sweetwood, what a strong runner. Tackled at about the line of at the line of scrimmage, but continued to move his legs. And he's going to be just short of the goal line. So another heavy set for Hillcrest. Using that strong O-line, Austin Reeves, Bodie Stepp, Gavin Allen. And they're going to push Sweetwood into the end zone. Waiting for the official call. It is touchdown, Sweetwood and the Hillcrest Knights. So despite that holding penalty, they still are able to get in for 6. And 7-6 with the PAT pending for the Knights. Borgman, number 17, the senior kicker, played a lot of soccer. He's got a big leg. Hold is good, kick is good, and that brings our score to 7-7. Hillcrest ties it all up with just 24 seconds to go in this opening quarter of action.
Today's broadcast is sponsored by Les Schwab in Rantham. Is a proud sponsor of the Lakeland High School football team. Snow season is right around the corner. Make sure to come in and get your tires checked before it's too late. Les Schwab has the best tire warranty in America. Go Hawks! We'd also like to thank Northwest Paint and Body for the best auto body services around, including collision repair, painting, and framework. Stop by 6220 East Commerce Loop in Post Falls or give them a call at 208-664-6635. Northwest Paint and Body are proud supporters of Lakeland Athletics. Good luck, boys.
Thank all of our sponsors for helping us bring you this game on the NFHS Network, produced by the IdahoSports.com. Keys to this one for Hillcrest were to take care of the football, no turnovers. So far, so good. And be sound on special teams. So far, Rylan Borgman, 1 for 1 for PATs, and smoking that ball through the end zone for the touchback. And then on offense, pound the rock, and so far, 3 for 3 on those offensive keys. How about defense? They want to continue to tackle well. Watch for Griffin Tamagni, making sure that number 6 doesn't break off for those big runs. And, you know, you tend to see with good teams, you tend to see the first quarter a couple of touchdowns or a couple of good plays, both defenses feeling each other out, and then start the adjustments by both teams. And both teams well coached. Mike Schroeder from Lakeland and Brennan Mossholder from Hillcrest. You know both of them are going to be continuing with their coaching staff to make those adjustments. Throw to the outside, good coverage, and that pass is caught despite the coverage. Nice first down throw, pass completed to number 17, Trent Boardman. Number 10 is his home number, but number 17 is his away number. Trent Boardman with the completed 3-yard catch. And that'll bring us to the end of the first quarter. 7-7, we're all tied up after one. We'll take a quick break and recognize some sponsors. Stay with us.
Vaping sucks you in quick, and the more you vape, the harder it is to quit. Not to mention all the chemicals and health problems. That's why thousands of teens are joining My Life, My Quit. Visit mylifemyquit.com or text Start My Quit to 36072.
Dear Savvy, who says you can't have it all? You've got the tech, you've got the drive, and now you've got Toyota value. Toyota, let's go places. Dear Friday, we've got power tailgates to power game days, and a trailer backup guide that's the champ of the ramp. Toyota trucks. Toyota, let's go places.
Welcome back to this IdahoSports.com GameStreams production on the NFHS Network. Second quarter underway for the Lakeland Hawks. Try to run to this near side. Now Lakeland going right to left. That's south to north here in the Westmark Stadium. And gain of 2. Now ball on the 25-yard line. 3rd and 5. We'll see if Hillcrest can get the stop or if Lakeland can convert on this 3rd down. Keys the game for Lakeland on offense. It's pretty simple. Match the lines and control the ball. Part of controlling the ball is obtaining this 3rd down conversion. 3rd and 5. 3-step drop. Long throw, and he was tripped up, but they're going to call, there's no flag down. No pass interference. Is tripped up on that attempt. Pass intended for number 3, Mr. Taylor, Jace Taylor, that is. So 4th and 5, and Hillcrest gets their first stop of the night. Lakeland unable to convert on that long slant to the opposite side of the field. It was a good throw from Hillman, but receiver just tripped up. No call from the officials. It's a high snap. Punter brings it down. It's a decent punt, and it takes a great Lakeland bounce. It's going to bounce all the way to the 20, past the 20, and will stop just shy of the 20-yard line. Fantastic punt from Lakeland. Parker Sterling, the junior kicker. Really impressive stuff as that ball went end over end, hit that cold turf, I should say, here at Westmark Stadium, and bounced all the way to just beyond the 20-yard line in Hillcrest territory. Lakeland came into this game, again, 9-1. Last week defeated Lewiston, 28-27 in the first round of these playoffs. Gave them this quarterfinal berth. A rematch against Hillcrest. Of course, these two teams played last season in the Snow Bowl, you'll call it. And Hillcrest pulled away in the second half, and especially that fourth quarter. Tyson Sweetwood ran the ball down Lakeland's throat, and head coach Mike Schroeder and his defense want to make sure that doesn't happen again. They've installed a few different looks on defense to keep Sweetwood and Dak Sargent at bay. And now they're on defense. We'll see if they can do that after that first down throw is incomplete just beyond the receiver. So Sweetwood, his first incompletion of the night. Sweetwood in the shotgun. We got Trips at the bottom of your screen. He's going to be flushed out of the pocket. Great block. And he's throwing it downfield. Incomplete. Big tackle as he's going out of bounds. Great tackle there from number 21, Broxton Lukey. Broxton Lukey, brother to Deccan Lukey. Broxton, the senior, Deccan, the freshman. And Broxton, the safety, came over to make that hit on the attempt. And receiver is still down. That's number 11, Tate Prince. And he's shaken up on the play. Hopefully he's okay. 3 receivers at the bottom of your screen. 3rd and 10 after 2 incomplete passes on the 20-yard line. 10:50 to play in the second quarter. Sweetwood in the shotgun. 1 receiver at the top. Running back on his left hip. Quick drop. He takes off himself. Evades a couple tacklers. Finally met at the 25-yard line. And they're going to give him actually to the 26. Oh, 27. So a favorable spot. We'll bring up almost the 27-yard line. So bring up 4th and 4. We're going to call it just shy of the 27. 10:20 to play before half. And they're going to punt this one away. Smart decision here from Coach Mossholder. And now we've seen 2 stops by both defenses. A 1 stop each, and this punt is short. We'll see if this one gets a bounce, and this one eventually takes a Hillcrest bounce almost to the 40-yard line. So it hit the 50 and bounced almost another 10 yards for Hillcrest. The Lakeland will take over on their own 41-yard line. Lakeland had an interesting journey to get here, not just coming from Rathdrum, about 8 hours away from Idaho Falls, but in terms of playing, they had to do a Kansas City playoff to beat Sandpoint. Then they beat Lewiston in overtime, and now with driving 8 hours and the time change, playing in the cold, and the wind has died down. It was windy throughout this day here in East Idaho, but the wind has died down, so now it's just cold. And so with all of that building up, you wonder if Lakeland was going to be able to come out here with some gas, with some energy. But let me tell you, Lakeland has been psyched, has been pumped to have this rematch against Hillcrest all week long. Talking to the coaches, and they were very much looking forward to getting a chance to rematch Hillcrest. And sure enough, the opportunity presented itself as they took the reign into their own hands, defeating enough teams to get here as this run goes to that right side. Again, defeating Lewiston twice, both in the playoffs and in the regular season, and then defeating Sandpoint in that Kansas City playoff. So Lakeland on a journey to get here, but they got here and playing really with house money as they're up against the number 1 seeded Hillcrest in these playoffs. Lakeland, the number 9 seed. And we got a number of other games tonight. Twin Falls Century, Bishop Kelly Blackfoot, Skyline Sandpoint. That Skyline Sandpoint game has completed. Skyline defeated Sandpoint earlier tonight at the ICCU Dome. Ball's thrown behind him. He evades a tackler. Great catch and run from number 3 of Lakeland. Mr. Taylor once again doing work. Jace fighting for extra yards, and they cross the 50-yard line all the way to the 41. 9:08 and counting remaining before half. Lakeland's offensive coordinator, Tony Porter, mixing in a little bit, a few runs, a few pass games, and they can go either run heavy or pass heavy, just depends what the defense is giving them. They've lined up in shotgun. We've seen them line up in a full house backfield as well. Long throw to the opposite side of the field and tipped out of bounds. Was in the receiver's hands, but can't come down with it. Intended for number 12 of Lakeland, Jaron Yeager. Once again, Yeager is a tall dude, tall, skinny, fast. Specifically 6'5". Looks no more than from here 150. Probably more than 150. as he's playing this 5A big boy football. 2nd and 10 on the 41-yard line. Don't be surprised to see them go back to Yeager soon. This time they go to the flat. He awaits his tackler, drops his shoulder, and pushes forward for a few more yards. You love to see that from who else but Jace Taylor once again. Jace Taylor he becomes that leak out to the flat. Good decision there from Hillman, the quarterback. Hillman playing an impressive half so far. 8:31 to play in the second quarter. Hillman hands it off. A little misdirection to the right side, but they go left. A few more yards. Crosses the 25-yard line. 5 yards for Griffin Tamagni. Hillman gets the call from the sideline, brings it to the huddle, and here we go. 2nd and 5 on the 23. Tie game, under 8 minutes to play. A triple set behind him. He'll hand it off to number 13, Caden Carley. That can't be right. Looked like it was number 13. Number 13 plays offensive line and defensive line, 6'1", 190, but they did bring up a 3-set back. We wonder if they gave Carley an opportunity there, but it was number 13 on the carry. Another run to the left side. And a little extra tackle there after the whistle, and Tamagni gets slammed down. And you wonder if there was some extracurricular there, but no call. And good move there from the Hillcrest Knight to pick up Tamagni after that happened. You wonder if because he was picking up Tamagni, the other player who didn't slam Tamagni down, the refs didn't call it. A good heads-up play if that is the case by Hillcrest to show some sportsmanship after a potential unsportsmanlike conduct not called. 4th and 2, ball on the 20. Heavy set, handed off to Tamagni, and he's stopped short, shoved back, and he's not going to make it. And that's your first 4th down stop of the night by either team. And Tamagni was not able to get there. And after further review, it is official, Hillcrest football. So Hillcrest takes over on downs after the 4th and 2 stop. IdahoSports.com does a lot more than just broadcasting. Continue checking back to the website for updated scores, schedules, standings, polls, action photo galleries, and written content from every corner of the state. Go to IdahoSports.com for further coverage of the games going on throughout this weekend. Sweetwood in the shotgun with running back a few steps to his right. He'll hand it off. That looks like Sargent, but Sargent and Minor have similar builds. One is 32, one is 23. So a palindrome between Sargent and Minor. And that was carried by Elon Minor. Yeah, I talked to Coach Mossholder earlier this week, and he says that he loves Elon Minor's production, only a sophomore. But he also loves that he's 23 and Dax Sargent 32 with that palindrome going on. Sweetwood once again in the shotgun, this time running back on his right hip. And they push over the center, who tips over as if he's Humpty Dumpty. We got encroachment, so nice hard count from Tyson Sweetwood. 5 free yards for the Knights. 1st and 10 on the 32-yard line. That might be my favorite play of the night there. Great heads-up play by the center to just tip over after getting touched. Maybe barely touched, but still touched nonetheless. Making sure that there's no question that there's a false start. Truly was encroachment. Sweetwood, play action, rolls to the far side. He'll throw it over the middle. Pass completed despite the hands-on. And Mason Davis, a big first down catch. Cross the 50, and they're in Hawk territory. First and 10 on the 42. Sweetwood puts a man in motion. A little screen action on this far side. Cutting in, dropping his shoulder. And nice run all the way to the 35-yard line. Number 19 on the pitch and catch, Dresden Thompson. The senior wide receiver, 6'1", 175. And the Knights, again, mixing in the pass game, the run game, testing this Lakeland secondary and the linebackers. Lakeland on defense want to make sure they keep Sweetwood and Sargent in front of them, but now they have a few more problems with a host of players. And this is what Hillcrest has done so well throughout the season, keeping everyone involved. Nice Sweetwood run across the 30-yard line and tackled by a bevy of tacklers. And he picked up enough for another first down. Under 4 minutes to play before half. As I was talking to Coach Mossholder, he wanted to make sure I shouted out his parents who are having a watch party with Coach's uncle and aunt in Santa Maria, California. Want to shout out his parents for raising up such a good dude. And Coach Mossholder, hope you're enjoying this game as the Knights switch up their look. And now they go 3 tight in the bottom of your screen. Sweetwood, just a quick roll, gets it to, that's Meekum, number 0, who crossed the 20-yard line into red zone territory for the second time tonight. Can Hillcrest get through the end zone for the go-ahead score with 3:16 and counting? Hillcrest doing a good job of controlling this clock as they've eaten up about 6-7 minutes on this drive. Another switch up. Now they line up. They went tight to now wide. A little pistol. Here's a right side run. Trying to get to the end zone. Will not. That's Elam Minor once again, picking his way through the secondary after crossing that line of scrimmage with really plenty of space. So 2nd and goal for Hillcrest, ball on the 2-yard line. And Hillcrest using that offensive line to get not only massive holes, but a solid push. They're going to call it 1st and goal. That was the first down, so 1st and goal for Sweetwood under center. He's got Sargent in the backfield behind him. They'll give it to Sargent, and will he get in? They're going to say he's short. Great job from the Hawks to stop Sargent short of the goal line. That'll bring up 2nd and inches. 2nd and maybe a hairpin for the Knights. And you wonder if Sweetwood, they'll just do a tush push for Sweetwood. You know they want to get Sargent another touchdown. And we'll wait to see what Mossholder called on this play. 1:40 to play before half. And Sweetwood will take it in, and he will be waiting for the official call. Yes, Sweetwood, another 1-yard touchdown for the Knights. Tyson Sweetwood shoves his way forward for 6 more. 13-7, Hillcrest leading the Lakeland Hawks. Borgman on to attempt the PAT after a 1-yard touchdown run from Tyson Sweetwood with 1:31 to play. The snap is a little bit low, but the kick is up, and the kick is no problem for Borgman. And that's another PAT made for Borgman. We're going to need to get a stat of how many points Borgman has on the season. As the Hillcrest Knights lead 14-7, we'll recognize some sponsors.
One of our sponsors is Super One Foods. At Super One Foods, compromise is not an option. They set the standard. First, they have lower prices, and second, they make your dollar stretch further. Visit any Super One Foods in Rantham, Hayden, Coeur d'Alene, Post Falls, Sandpoint, or Bonus Ferry, and you'll see they set the standard. Go Hawks. One of our sponsors is also the Bank of Commerce. The Bank of Commerce is a proud supporter of all area schools with 17 locations across Idaho and southwest Montana. For local decisions and exceptional service, make the Bank of Commerce your bank of a lifetime. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Appreciate all of our sponsors helping us bring you this game here on the NFHS Network, produced by IdahoSports.com. Hillcrest leading 14-7, have a strong program, and I really mean that when I say program, not just a team, but a program who has culture and buy-in by players and coaches. Every Thursday morning, they like to do team walkthroughs, and then Thursday evening, they get dinner together, and they all attend the JV game. Pretty unique for a team. I'm sure sometimes kids have other things going on, but for the most part, every Thursday night, they all attend the JV game together. Great tradition there, and they love to go to the Montana State team camp at the start of summer where they get to play different opponents every year. You know, you get sometimes might get tired playing the same conference opponents year in, year out, meeting the same opponents in the playoffs, including teams like Skyline, who they play maybe more often than any other team. And going to Montana State allows them to play other opponents and mix it up with other players, different schemes, and different coaches. And finally, these players have been playing together since 4th grade. And one of their favorite highlights, you know, on senior night, Hillcrest players love to say their favorite memory is winning that 4th grade Grid Kid championship. That tells you how much they love to play together and how much they appreciate the culture here at Hillcrest from 4th grade all the way to senior year. Strong culture here for the Hillcrest Knights. And so now we get to see how the Lakeland Hawks will respond with 1:31 to play before half, down 14-7. Quarterback in the shotgun. They'll try to go right. Hillcrest gobbles them up. I think he lost a yard on that carry. He did, so it's going to bring up 2nd and 11, ball on the 19-yard line. Had a great conversation with Tim Kiefer, the defensive coordinator, earlier this week. And Kiefer really likes this offense. Obviously, Peyton Hillman, Griffin Tamagni, Jace Taylor, Jaron Yeager. And they've really improved week in, week out. And he loves offensive coordinator Tony Porter's called game. Almost picked off there. Would have been a pick 6. Great stuff there from number 63 of Hillcrest. Maddox Medlin, the son of Dustin Medlin, the defensive coordinator. And if you would have gotten a bigger paw on that, that would have been gone for a pick 6. 3rd and 11, ball on the 19-yard line. Under a minute to play, 51 seconds to be exact. Hawks going to need something special on this 3rd and 11. Maybe a throw here to Jace Taylor or Jaron Yeager. And they're going to run it up the middle. They're going to lean on Griffin Tamagni. And Tamagni doesn't get there. just short of the line of gain on the 28-yard line. So it's going to bring up 4th and 2. And Hillcrest is going to call a timeout. They got 2 more remaining. And you're going to try to see if they can get a stop here and punch one more in before half. Let's recognize the sponsor over there, Fuzz Taylor.
This broadcast is brought to you by our power boosters, Java Express, Sunnyside Automotive, MVP Rentals, The Roof Resource, Grand Peaks, Affordable Quality Healthcare, and Teton Auto Group. It is also brought to you by Titan Machinery. Titan Machinery is your source for new and used tractors, combines, balers, excavators, loaders, backhoes, and wheel loaders. Their 5 Idaho locations serve the agricultural, construction, and landscaping industries in eastern Idaho. Titan Machinery offers the most advanced new farm and construction equipment in the world, and they back their equipment with world-class service, parts, and financial solutions. They can get you into your new equipment and into the field quickly with real peace of mind. Find out more online at titanmachinery.com.
And earlier when I said Skyline had defeated Sandpoint, that game was only at halftime, so apologize for that. 23-14 at half. That was probably about half an hour ago. And instead of trying to go for on 4th and 2, they're going to punt it away. And it's collected by Hillcrest number 3, Ethan Saunders. And they're going to start at the 31-yard line with 39 seconds to play before half. So Hillcrest going to need something special here to get down the field. Wouldn't be surprised to see Sweetwood look for Mason Davis deep, maybe even Prince. We'll see what Brennan Mossholder has in store. On defense, Lakeland, of course, looking to keep Tyson Sweetwood and Dak Sargent at bay. But who they haven't maybe considered is Ryland Borgman, who has a good leg on him. And if they can get the ball into Ryland Borgman territory, we'll call it. Let's see if they can get one through for 3 before half and go up 10. A throw to the outside, that's completed to who else but number 11, Tate Prince. He gets outside on the quick out route. Good stuff there from Tate Prince in this offense to stop the clock and move the chains. Ball to the 42-yard line on Hillcrest's 42-yard line. Lakeland secondary being tested by Prince and Davis. Sweetwood, empty backfield. He's got 5 receivers, 3 at the top, 2 at the bottom. Takes the snap. He gets flushed down. He's going to carry it himself, trying to get out of bounds. A few more yards, then does get out of bounds. Across the 50-yard line. Good run there from Sweetwood. Another first down. Oh, no, excuse me. He was just shy of the first down. Ran out of bounds at the 49-yard line. Line to gain is on the 48. But 30 seconds, clock does stop as Sweetwood got out of bounds. Another 5 wide set, including Davis and Prince. And there it is again, another hard count, pushes over the center, goes Humpty Dumpty once more. We got a call number 61, good stuff there from Bodie Stepp. Bodie Stepp, one of the main offensive linemen, the center for this team, 290 pounds. He's got great feet, according to Mossholder. Played a lot of backup during the playoffs last year, and of course now playing in a bigger role as not only a starter, but in these quarterfinals. Bodie Stepp, only a junior. Sweetwood gets the call from the sideline. Approaches his center and then pulls back about 4 hash marks away. And he's going to take it himself. Left side, off tackle. And he gets past the 40-yard line. And a quick timeout called from Brennan Mossholder. And they have 1 timeout remaining with 24 seconds to play.
This broadcast is brought to you by some of our sponsors. Les Schwab in Rantham is a proud sponsor of the Lakeland High School football team. Snow season is right around the corner. Make sure to come in and get your tires checked before it's too late. Les Schwab has the best tire warranty in America. Go Hawks. Additionally, Northwest Paint and Body for the best auto body services around, including collision repair, paint and framework. Stop by 6220 East Commerce Loop in Post Falls or give them a call at 208-664-6635. Northwest Paint and Body are proud supporters of Lakeland Athletics. Good luck, boys.
Appreciate our sponsors here on this IdahoSports.com production on NFHS Network. Joel Richardson with Fuzz Taylor on camera, doing a great job. 2nd and 3, ball on the 38-yard line. 1 timeout remaining for the Knights. 3-step drop. He's flushed out of the pocket. It's going to be a screenplay. Yep, here they come. He's got to make a couple guys miss. Gets the outside and gets to the out of bounds. Great play call there from Brennan Mossholder. On the screen, an outside carry, pitch and catch. Tate Prince doing work. Tate Prince last week had 3 receptions for 53 yards and 2 touchdowns. Nice game there from Prince. And now they're on the 22-yard line, 16 seconds remaining before half. Can they get into the end zone? Sweetwood's got Sargent on his left hip. Sargent's going to carry it. He does. He spins out of a tackle. If he could have made that tackle or miss, he would have been gone for the touchdown. But he does get positive yards all the way to the 14-yard line. And third and final timeout called by the Hillcrest Knights on 2nd and 2 on that 14-yard line. Hillcrest looking to punch one in before halftime. And great job. They called that first timeout when Lakeland had the 4th down. Before they punted, Hillcrest called the timeout, which stopped the clock. And great clock management from Mossholder and this coaching staff. And so you wonder here if they will go for the end zone, take a shot, if they'll run the ball and go quickly to the line, if they can get the first down and then spike the ball. On a 2nd and 2, you wouldn't be surprised to see them do a quick run and then get quick to the line and spike it. 11 seconds. Sweetwood. He's got 3 wide. They're going to throw to the end zone. And Prince catches in the end zone. Tate Prince. The ball just sails right over the DB. And Tate Prince stays focused. A lot of times those catches are hard as you feel like that ball is going to be intercepted or tipped. Stayed focused the whole way, and Prince catches the touchdown for 6 more. No problem there for Borgman, and that gives us a score of 21-7 with 6 seconds remaining before half. And Hillcrest methodically getting downfield 2 out of the 3 times their offense had the ball. They were only stopped once, had to punt that ball away, but besides that, 3 drives, 2 of them ended, 4 drives, and 3 of them ended in scores. At halftime, we'll bring you scoring drives and scores from around 5A playoff action. All 5A teams playing tonight. We had 3A, 4A last night, including Ryrie and Sugar Salem here from East Idaho. Ryrie coming out with a close victory over New Plymouth, 2018. And Sugar Salem took care of Snake River last night, a lot to a little. So stick with us after we take a quick break with 6 seconds left before halftime. Let this clock go on the kickoff. We'll take a quick break and be right back with scoring drive summaries, scores from around the league, and some adjustments that need to be made by especially the Hawks as they find themselves down 2 scores. Borgman squib kicks it, and that's going to go out of bounds. Touchback for Hawks. And of course, no time was ticked off because no player received that ball. And so 6 seconds before half, 1st and 10 on the 20-yard line for the Hawks. If I'm the Hawks coaching staff, I'm probably kneeling this one out and avoiding any turnovers. Maybe take a shot downfield. Just make sure that that ball is thrown further than maybe you would otherwise, so there's no chance for an interception and an opportunity to run it back for a pick 6. And no, they're just going to kneel this ball out, and that'll take us to halftime. Your halftime score, Hillcrest 21, Lakeland 7. You're watching the IdahoSports.com GameStreams production of the 2025 Idaho High School Football Playoffs on the NFHS Network. Stay with us. We'll be right back after this commercial break.
So, what's next? Your path doesn't have to look like theirs. You can do this, or this, or this. Check out in-demand jobs in Idaho and get up to $8,000 to find your thing.
Dear crew, with an adult-sized 3rd row, everyone's welcome. Slip in, stretch out, and let's go. Toyota, let's go places.
It's that time again. Time to get the health insurance you need for next year. Open enrollment is the time for you to enroll in, renew, or change your coverage. At Your Health Idaho, you can save money with a tax credit on the plan that's best for you and your family. Don't wait. Open enrollment ends December 15th. More coverage, less cost. Only at yourhealthidaho.org. Enroll by December 15th.
Il me semble que ce matin le soleil peine à colorer le ciel. Voudrais prolonger les vacances.
Idaho's 529 can be used at any in-state or out-of-state 2- or 4-year college or university. Can be used at a trade school for an apprenticeship.
Whatever it is that your kid is interested in, that's available for them to use the fund.
I really like the flexibility. It gives Wild the opportunity to pursue a whole array of training.
So whatever your child's passion is, you can support that.
To learn more, go to idsaves.org.
Vaping sucks you in quick, and the more you vape, the harder it is to quit. Not to mention all the chemicals and health problems. That's why thousands of teens are joining My Life, My Quit. Visit mylifemyquit.com or text Start My Quit to 36072.
At Valleywide Cooperative, we're here when you need us. For 100 years, we have been here to help you with food, fuel, and good old-fashioned advice. And for us, serving is more than a job, it's a way of life, which is why we pour so much into the communities around us. We've employed hundreds of your neighbors. We take pride in that, and in giving back millions in sponsorships, grants, donations, and scholarships. It's our way of saying thanks. We're Valleywide, and yesterday, today, and tomorrow, we're here for you.
Dear Friday. We've got power tailgates to power game days. And a trailer backup guide. That's the champ of the ramp. Toyota Trucks. Toyota. Let's go places.
Every time that we get in the car, number 1, buckle up. Number 2, no phones. And number 3, pay attention to your surroundings.
If I got in the car with my friends, I would definitely tell them to put their seatbelts on. I want to be able to get back home safely.
Welcome back to this IdahoSports.com GameStreams production of the 2025 Idaho High School Football Playoffs on the NFHS Network. 5A action here as Lakeland football finds themselves down to the Hillcrest Knights by a score of 7-21. Lakeland Hawks struck first in the first quarter off a 14-yard touchdown catch from Mr. Yeager at the 5:29 mark. And then Tyson Sweetwood pretty soon thereafter, a 1-yard touchdown run equalizing thanks to Borgman's extra point, brings us a score of 7-7 in the first quarter. But then in the second quarter, it was all Hillcrest, thanks to another Tyson Sweetwood 1-yard touchdown run with 1:31 to play in the second. You would think, all right, Lakeland then gets the ball and maybe punches one in or was able to carry the ball and finish up the half. But no, Hillcrest gets the stop, forces a punt. They call a timeout before that punt, and they're able to salvage clock and get in thanks to a Tate Prince 11-yard touchdown catch with 6 seconds remaining before halftime. And your score at halftime, thanks to those 2 touchdowns in the second quarter from Hillcrest, 21-7. A couple scores from around 5A for you on the IdahoSports.com Friday Night Flash. Skyline leading Sandpoint 4-3-28 in the fourth quarter, so that halftime score was accurate. We were just waiting for an updated score, and 4-3-28 is your updated score in the fourth quarter. How about Bishop Kelly leading Blackfoot by a score of 30-8 in the second quarter. Twin Falls blanking Century so far 22-0 in the second. And finally, our current score, Hillcrest leading Lakeland. Hillcrest leading Lakeland 21-7. 6A action, Rocky Mountain leading Eagle 3-0. Timberline out of Boise leading Middleton 14-7. And that Rocky Mountain Eagle game is at halftime. Timberline Middleton is in the second quarter. And then Mountain View leading Rigby by a score of 14-7 in the second. That game's being played just a few miles north of here in Rigby. 4A action, Fruitland leading Buell 17-0. Unsurprising score there. Homedale leading Weiser 14-8 at half. And then Kimberly blanking American Falls 21-0 in the second quarter. For 3A, West Side leading West Jefferson 21-7 at halftime. And Nampa Christian leading North Fremont 23-14 in the second quarter. Kendrick takes care of Notice 80-6. This is 8-man football. Logos Hagerman is getting underway as we speak. And Grace Prairie also getting underway in just about 10 minutes at the ICCU Dome. That game is being broadcasted live by IdahoSports.com on the NFHS Network. How about some 1A 8-man football? Tri-Valley scores a ton of points against Deary, 82 to be exact, a 50-point game there, 50-point difference. That's your final. Tri-Valley defeats Deary 82-32. Council 46-8 over Garden Valley. That's your final score. And in the third quarter, Genesee is leading Wallace 44-32. And those are your playoff scores as we know them on the Friday Night Flash on IdahoSports.com. Check back there for further scores, schedules, standings, polls, and action photo galleries, and written content from every corner of the state. Also, check out our expanded list of regional prepcasts on IdahoSports.com, the North Idaho Prepcast, East Idaho Prepcast, and the Magic Valley Prepcast on IdahoSports.com. Our resident experts talk about what's going on in the part of the state you live in. Be sure to catch the new regional prepcasts each week on IdahoSports.com or by downloading the new episodes wherever you get your podcasts. You can also watch each episode on the IdahoSports.com YouTube channel. And join the Idaho Sports Nation on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. Watch Prepcasts and get updates, breaking news, pictures, and more on the Idaho Sports Nation on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. And hey, we do a lot more than just broadcasting. You want to join this talented crew of people, you can get involved. Sales, producers, camera operators, writers, photographers, even broadcasters. Email editor@IdahoSports.com to find out more. And how about becoming a Power Booster? Super thankful for all of our Power Boosters helping us bring you this game, produced by Idaho Sports and on the NFHS network. Do you have what it takes to be a Power Booster? For your school or schools on IdahoSports.com, show your devotion and advertise your business at the same time by becoming a Power Booster. You get a large clickable display banner on every team page for your school and a clickable link with your business name on every team page for your school and on every broadcast we do for your school during the regular season and state tournaments. Power Boosters are a great way for you and your business to be seen by tens of thousands, even hundreds of thousands of current and potential clients and customers. And the best part, it's 100% tax deductible. Always nice to get a few less taxes on your bill. Becoming a Power Booster is fast and easy. Just email sales@IdahoSports.com, and within 24 hours, your business can be proudly seen on your favorite school's team schedules, rosters, and conference standings. Multi-school discounts are available. Again, email sales@IdahoSports.com to find out more about how you can become a Power Booster on Idaho Sports. Your score is 21-7 at half. Nice crowd here. It's a cold night here in Idaho Falls, specifically 39 degrees. Mostly clear tonight, and the wind has really died down. It was pretty windy earlier on throughout the day, but wind died down for a beautiful night, though it's cold here in Idaho Falls. And a good crowd, and the pep band doing work. Hopefully you heard that national anthem pregame, as they are small, but they are mighty, as the Knights band continues to play, entertain this crowd with a little Seven Nation Army. We'll take a quick break and be right back for some analysis and how Lakeland can get back in this game. You're watching this IdahoSports.com GameStreams production of the 2025 Idaho High School Football Playoffs on the NFHS network.
It's that time again. Time to get the health insurance you need for next year. Open enrollment is the time for you to enroll in, renew, or change your coverage. At Your Health Idaho, you can save money with a tax credit on the plan that's best for you and your family. Don't wait. Open enrollment ends December 15th. More coverage, less cost. Only at yourhealthidaho.org. Enroll by December 15th.
Dear Friday, we've got power tailgates to power game days. And a trailer backup guide. That's the champ of the ramp. Toyota trucks. Toyota. Let's go places.
Idaho's 529 can be used at any in-state or out-of-state 2- or 4-year college or university. Can be used at a trade school for an apprenticeship.
Whatever it is that your kid is interested in, that's available for them to use the fund.
I really like the flexibility. It gives Wild the opportunity to pursue a whole array of training.
So whatever your child's passion is, you can support that.
To learn more, go to idsaves.org.
Every time that we get in the car, number 1, buckle up. Number 2, no phones. And number 3, pay attention to your surroundings.
If I got in the car with my friends, I would definitely tell them to put their seatbelts on. I want to be able to get back home safely.
At Valleywide Cooperative, we're here when you need us. For 100 years, we have been here to help you with food, fuel, and good old-fashioned advice. And for us, serving is more than a job, it's a way of life, which is why we pour so much into the communities around us. We've employed hundreds of your neighbors. We take pride in that, and in giving back millions in sponsorships, grants, donations, and scholarships. It's our way of saying thanks. We're Valleywide, and yesterday, today, and tomorrow, we're here for you.
Welcome back to this IdahoSports.com GameStreams production of the 2025 Idaho High School Football Playoffs on the NFHS Network. About 30 seconds to go before the start of the second half. And for Lakeland to get back into this thing, they're going to need to get more push on the offensive line and complete more passes to the outside. They had a lot of success on their opening drive with dink and dunking in the flats and through over the middle screens, over the middle slants, and even some screen plays. You wonder if they'll go back to a little bit more of that in this second half. And for Hillcrest, continue to do what you're doing as they've methodically moved the ball downfield, mixing in heavy sets, little spread, play action, and quarterback keepers. And doing a great job on offense, and they've gotten a few stops on defense, forced 2 punts from Lakeland. Lakeland only forcing 1, and no turnovers so far for Lakeland. Hillcrest in the all blacks. They look like chrome helmets on the top. Lakeland in the all whites with the yellow helmets. Hillcrest Knights in the High Country Conference, where red, black, and white. Lakeland Hawks are in that Inland Empire League, wearing Kelly green and gold. And again, Lakeland had a journey to get here, both obviously on the bus in terms of geography and in gameplay. Wins over Bonners Ferry, Lake City, Weiser, West Valley, and Washington, Post Falls, Moscow, Timberlake, and then Lewiston twice, including that overtime win in the opening round of the playoffs. But because they lost to Sandpoint, they needed the Kansas City playoff to get into the playoffs. And they defeated Sandpoint in that one. Sandpoint, though, was able to get in the playoffs, but a lower seed. And I think it's official. Sandpoint lost to Skyline tonight. We talked about, we gave you that score at halftime, but Skyline defeats Sandpoint down at the ICCU Dome. Sandpoint will go home, and Skyline will continue their journey through these playoffs. Might we get another Skyline Hillcrest championship match in a few weeks? Remains to be seen. Let's go over the 5A tournament. Hillcrest, of course, leading Lakeland 21-7. Twin Falls playing Century out in Twin Falls. So far, blanking Century. Bishop Kelly leading Blackfoot out at Bishop Kelly tonight, and Skyline defeats Sandpoint. So if Hillcrest, whoever wins this game, whether it's Hillcrest or Lakeland, they play the winner of Twin Falls Century, which right now appears to be Twin Falls, and a berth to the semifinals against either Twin Falls or Century. Hillcrest, of course, last week defeated Shelley 49-15, took care of them no problem. And interestingly enough, earlier in the season had a hard time with Shelley running that wing tee, heavy sets, but they were able to pull away in the second half. And we've seen that a few times by Hillcrest. Bonneville, their big rival earlier on in the season, gave Hillcrest some fits in the first quarter, but Hillcrest was able to capitalize on some mistakes and force some errors by Bonneville in the Civil War, and they were able to pull away, and that became a rout. But sometimes, Hillcrest starts a little bit slow. It's almost like they're looking for what the other team is going to bring, and they make those adjustments, and bam, they're off to the races and score. They win in multi-score fashion. Hillcrest averaging 40 points a game, giving up 20. And meanwhile, Lakeland averaging 38, giving up only 11. They lead all defenses in 5A, only giving up 11. One of the best in 5A. But they're going to need some special plays here in the second half if they're going to come back as they're down 2 scores. Hillcrest deferred in the first during the coin toss. Lakeland received the ball, and they were the first ones to strike on their first drive. So Hillcrest will receive in this second half. So not only did they score late in, with 6 seconds to go in the first half, now they get the ball and have a chance to go up 3 scores as they're up 21-7. Waiting for the officials to get set. Great crew here tonight. 5-man crew with the white hat over there on the 40-yard line. And we're getting set. As Lakeland likes to prepare their kickoffs in this double line formation with the kicker between them. And this is where you cut your teeth. It's on special teams. The best programs, the best teams in football. They invest in their special team play. And Lakeland loves to do that. And that has been the difference in a lot of their games as Parker Sterling is set to kick off to start this third quarter. And here we go, end over end kickoff. It's going to be a short one. They're daring them to run, recovered at the 11-yard line. And good a run from number 3 of Hillcrest, Ethan Saunders. He's had a couple of nice kickoff returns in this game and gets another one to start this second half. Ball is going to be spotted at the 35-yard line between both hash marks. A little more to that far hash mark, to the far hash. And if you're looking for the Coeur d'Alene score, 7-0 Coeur d'Alene with 1 minute left in the first quarter. I think they're having some technical issues up north in Coeur d'Alene Stadium. Hopefully they can get those ironed out. But it is 7-0 Coeur d'Alene leads as the first play of the second half is a run to the left side. And they do get on the far hash to the 38-yard line. So it's a gain of 2 for the Knights. And more clock management for Mossholder. You definitely don't want to play to lose or play not to lose, but Mossholder so good at managing the clock. Sweetwood will take it himself, and he finds lots of room, breaking tackles, scampering all the way to the 35, the 30, and he's finally brought out of bounds. When I say brought, I mean dragged out of bounds by 5 tacklers. Tyson Sweetwood would not go down. That's about a 40-yard scamper from Tyson Sweetwood. And he kind of squeezed through that first hole between tackles, broke off the linebacker's arm tackle, and he was off, dragging players. And here's another encroachment by Lakeland. This time, it's the right guard who falls on his rear, pretending as if he was drilled by the defensive line. Love that. So with Laundry on the field, it's a 1st and 5, ball on the 24-yard line, and Hillcrest starts where they left off late in that second quarter. Sweetwood now under center with a 3-back set behind him, including Sargent and Minor. It's going to be Minor, left side between the tackle and the guard, and he's brought down, hitting that B gap nicely after a solid gain. Under 11 minutes, just 1 minute ticked off in this first drive of the second half. So this best scoring defense in 5A that Lakeland has shown throughout the season is being tested in this one as they're down two scores, 21-7, and Hillcrest looking to add more to here. And that's going to be a face mask run from Dak Sargent to the right side. Hopefully he's okay. Comes up a little bit shaking his head. And Dak Sargent should get 15 yards on that face mask as his head spun backwards as he was trying to spin out of a tackle. So 2 penalties on this drive. That's 20 yards total. 20 free yards given to the Knights by the Hawks. And that's a gift you regret every time.
I think he was reaching because Sargent, there was nothing between him and the defender but Pedro.
Hillcrest averaging 40 points a game. And you're seeing why they're able to do that week in, week out. Sweetwood looks like they're going to call an audible. Sweetwood takes it, hands it off to Minor. Minor trying to push through that first level and gets just a gain of 1. So 2nd and goal on the 8-yard line. Need 8 yards to get in for 6 more. Hillcrest win this season. Madison, Bonneville, Thunder Ridge, Skyline, Shelley, Blackfoot, Twin Falls, Idaho Falls, and then Shelley again in that opening round of the playoffs. Their lone loss came by the hands of Rigby, and that was their first loss here in Westmark Stadium. Play action. Sweetwood's going to take it himself, trying to find pay dirt. He does. Sweetwood, an 8-yard touchdown run. 27-7, Hillcrest. And the route is on. So it was a nice play action bootleg by Sweetwood to the outside. Looks like he had the option, to throw or run. Decides to keep it himself and gets in for 6. Rylan Borgman's extra point is good. 28-7. Hillcrest showing Lakeland, giving Lakeland the business. Let's take a quick break and recognize some sponsors there.
This stream is brought to you by Super One Foods. At Super One Foods, compromise is not an option. They set the standard. First, they have lower prices, and second, they make your dollar stretch further. Visit any Super One Foods in Rantham, Hayden, Coeur d'Alene, Post Falls, Sandpoint, or Bonus Ferry, and you'll see that they set the standard. Go Hawks! It is also sponsored by the Bank of Commerce. The Bank of Commerce is a proud supporter of all area schools with 17 locations across Idaho and Southwest Montana. For local decisions and exceptional service, make the Bank of Commerce your bank of a lifetime. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Renter.
Your final score down at the ICCU Dome, 43-35. Skyline defeats Sandpoint. Zion Crockett, 2 touchdown rushes and 1 passing touchdown. Skyline likes to get Zion Crockett. They'll do a pitch and then option for Zion Crockett to run or throw. And he did just that tonight. 43-35 is your final there. Skyline continues on over Sandpoint. The official score there from our IdahoSports.com broadcasters at the ICCU Dome. End over end kick by Borgman is going to go bounce into the end zone, and that's going to be a touchback. They'll start on the 20-yard line. Lakeland looking for answers. If you're a Lakeland fan, looking for Hillman to hit his receivers on some of those slants, screens. And we got a flag on the play after both teams were huddled, or Hillcrest was ready for their defense, and there is a flag thrown. We'll wait to see what it is with this very late laundry thrown.
Skyline Sandpoint's now final. Skyline 43, Sandpoint 35. Twin Falls still up on center.
The white hat coming to midfield. Well, the middle of both teams now coming over to the Hillcrest sideline. Brendan Mossholder runs over to talk to the officials. Now he's going to turn over to his assistant coach. And waiting for, as they discuss things, assistant coach talking with the officials. Now he's going to walk over to the Lakeland sideline. So it's a sideline warning committed against Lakeland. And so now we have a Hillcrest administrator going over to the Lakeland bench. I'm going to have to talk to, looks like he's going to the stands of Lakeland to make sure that everything is A-OK over there. Unfortunately, when you are fanning, things get out of hand. The penalty gets committed against your team. Best to stay even-keeled. Cheer on your team and don't let it get out of hand, because it becomes worse for the team that you're cheering for. So 9-11 and counting to play in the third quarter. Lakeland needs something bad. Needs to find a way to pick apart this Hillcrest defense, and might that be the answer? Good run there from number 6 Tamagni. And he slid a little bit, so they're going to spot it at the 38-yard line after that nice first down run from Tamagni. 1st and 10 run, giving them another first down, ball on the 38-yard line. 8:49 and counting to play in the third. Again, winner of this one plays either Twin Falls or Century. Right now it's looking like Twin Falls as they're up on Century. Coeur d'Alene up now on Madison 14-0. Here's another run. Nice hard run, hard-nosed football by both teams. Stack in the box. And good extra yards from Lakeland. Just short of the 45-yard line. So good 6-yard run. 2nd and 4, ball on the 44. Shotgun, he's going to take it. Tries to push through that pile. And now Lakeland has put more emphasis on the run, leaning on their stout offensive line. And that was one of their keys, was to own the line. And it appears that they're trying to take advantage of one of the skills that this team has. Their offensive and defensive line get good push almost every play. Unfortunately tonight, so far, Hillcrest has been better at the line. But you lean on what you know. You lean on what you're good at. And Lakeland is solid on the line. 3rd and 1, ball on the 47-yard line. The players are quick to the line. Hillman under center tries to push forward, and he's pushed by his backer, and they get even extra yards. They cross the 50-yard line and then some. Great 3rd and 1 run by quarterback Hillman. Peyton Hillman, again, we talked about him pregame, never too hot or cold, very even-killed quarterback. Last week versus Lewiston, he went 19 for 32, 159 yards, threw a pick, but then he also had 4 rushes for 41 yards. And in this game, they've been running him more. Throughout the year, he's thrown 22 touchdowns, 5 picks, but he surprises everyone with his legs. He's a better runner than what we've seen. Here's another Hillman run as he spins out of a tackle. Hit hard after he hits that B gap on that far hash. Crosses the 45-yard line to the 44. 2nd and 4 for the Hawks. Another point of their point of emphasis for this offense was to control the ball when you're throwing it constantly. You don't, and there's a couple incomplete passes. Suddenly, you're punting the ball away, and I think they noticed that in the first half. They didn't have enough possessions, and they're looking to stack on possessions on this drive. Straight ahead run, but their ball is on the ground. They're going to call it ground caused. No, they're going to say it was a fumble, but Lakeland picks it up. So a gain of a few more. Bring up 3rd and 2. Another 3rd down opportunity for Lakeland. Can they convert? Hillcrest, can they get a stop? But this is 4 down territory if you're Lakeland, as they're down 3 scores with 5:42 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Hillman under center. Hands it off. And do they get the first down? Coaches raising their fist like they didn't. They're going to be half a yard short of that first down marker. They needed the 37. They got to. They need to get to the 36, 37.5 yard line, and ball is just shy there. Ball on the 38 yard line. Yeah, 38.5 yard line. They need to get to the 37.5 yard line. So 4th and 1, maybe a long one for Lakeland. Don't want to get too ahead of ourselves, but this might be, we'll call it, this is a crucial 4th and 1 play for Lakeland. And they're going to take a timeout and talk about it. And let's recognize some sponsors there, Fuzz.
Do you have what it takes to be a power booster for your school on IdahoSports.com? Show your devotion to your school and advertise your business at the same time by becoming a power booster. You get a large clickable display banner on every team page for you and your school, and a clickable link with your business name on every broadcast. We do for your school during the regular season and state tournaments. Power boosters are a great way for you and your business to be seen by tens of thousands, even hundreds of thousands of current and potential clients and customers. And the best part, it's 100% tax deductible. Becoming a power booster is fast and easy. Just email sales@IdahoSports.com, and within 24 hours, your business can be proudly seen on your favorite schools, teams, schedules, rosters, and conference standings. Multi-school discounts are available. Again, email sales@IdahoSports.com to find out more about how you can become a power booster on IdahoSports.com.
Appreciate our power boosters helping us bring you this game. Big opportunity here for Lakeland and Hillcrest. Lakeland needs this 4th down conversion, and the ball is loose off the tip. And is he able to get across the line of scrimmage, the first down marker? I don't think so. It was a Hillman pitch and goes over the intended runner. And we'll wait to get the call from the officials. Disaster for the Hawks off that pitch, especially off the timeout. And really made something out of a disaster was Tamagni. And that's going to be Hillcrest football. Tamagni did not make it. He was short by a yard. So really, he just got back to the line of scrimmage. as that pitch from Hillman to Tamagni went over his head, caught it on the bounce and took off down the sideline, but was not enough as Hillcrest was there ready for him. Hillcrest takes over on downs with 4:47 to play in the third quarter. Let's do some playoff talk for Hillcrest. They beat Shelley last week. They have 3 titles, 2008, 2018, and then last year, Brendan Mossholder was the coach of the year two years ago and last year, so goes back-to-back as coach of the year, trying to get a third and trying to repeat as state champions in 5A. But at first, it's got to take a few more wins if they can get this win tonight. So far, so good there for the Hillcrest Knights. Really almost a flawless game, maybe except for a few plays, including having to punt one away on their second drive of the game. So 4:24 and counting, and this is where Hillcrest loves to control the clock, run the ball, get Dak Sargent, Elon Minor going, including Tyson Sweetwood. You wonder also, you want to keep your quarterback protected, and you wonder if they'll continue to run the ball with their running backs. Up 4 touchdowns. Elon Minor goes left side, trying to feel his way forward for a few extra yards. And he continues to fight for those extra yards. And he's just short. Oh, they're going to say he got there? And they're going to say a first down from Elon Minor. Good hard run there for to the far side. Great blocking. This running back core owes their offensive line some drinks from Java Express, no doubt, right? That Hillcrest drink that you can buy. It's got a mixture of, I think it's got a mixture of cherry and blackberries to get you that black and red color. At Java Express, Sweetwood under center, 3-back set behind him. He's going to keep it, and he takes off looking for space. He finds it, evades tacklers, cuts up the middle. Hard tackle, but crosses the 35-yard line for a big first down run. Tyson Sweetwood showing why he is the reigning 5A player of the year. He's rushed for 15 touchdowns on the year. He has got 2 tonight. So 17 total. Last week against Shelley, threw an interception, but had 4 rushes for 24 yards and a touchdown. A lot more throwing last week against Shelley, but we've seen Hillcrest tonight run the ball much more, and they've been successful on the ground. And if you're Hillcrest, you will continue to tote this rock and let that clock bleed out. Here is Sargent. Goes right. Gets some good block, and every time Hillcrest is able to get second level past those linebackers, should say they get second level to the linebackers, and then they end up dragging linebackers. Safeties have to come in and finish the tackle. Hard-nosed running from Hillcrest. 2:44 and counting. 2nd and 1 on the 24-yard line now for the Knights. Again, that 3-back set. Playing this heavy set are the Knights on offense. This time, run by Sargent, filling his way forward. Ends up diving across the 20-yard line in the red zone once again are the Hillcrest Knights. Again, got to shout out Austin Reeves, the senior center and defensive lineman. Junior offensive lineman Bodie Stepp. Junior left tackle Gavin Allen. He's 6'5", 260. Coach loves his offensive line. And here's another jump, and man, Lakeland has been jumping all night long. It's so important to watch that football, to stay steady with your hand in the dirt, in this case, hand in the turf. Got to stay steady on those feet and watch that football. Another free 5 yards for Hillcrest off the hard count. They're lined up on that near hash, ball on the ball on the 15-yard line, excuse me. And under 2 minutes to play in the third. Clock not the friend of Lakeland tonight. And this time they give it to Minor. They hit that B gap once again, and Minor gets a few more yards, and that clock continues to run. Now 2nd and 1 on the 11-yard line, so need to get to the 10-yard line for that first down. And these backers are doing a great job running, but doing a great job of seeing the holes that the offensive line is creating. That offensive line includes tight end and a fullback. Here's a run by Minor. He bounces outside. We got a flag thrown. Good run by Minor, but this one likely coming back. Yeah, quick call there from the white hat, and they're going to go 10 yards back. And you know that actually you want to go and score for sure when you're up 4 touchdowns. However, 3 touchdowns. But if you're a Hillcrest Knight fan, you've seen your offense drive with really no problem, drive almost flawlessly. And so you get to keep that ball a little bit longer, and they might be able to take this drive into the 4th quarter with under a minute to play in the 3rd. Lakeland selling out on the run, bringing their corners and their linebackers all in. Here comes Sweetwood to our near side, cuts in, falls, crossing the 15, almost gets the yards back, but gets to, we'll say, the 13-yard line. So 3rd down. They're actually going to spot him at the 19-yard line. So under 23 to play in the 3rd quarter. 14-yard line. I said the 19. That's actually the 14-yard line. Excuse me. Sweetwood under center. Another jump, and they stayed back on that one. The nose tackle was able to stay back and not cross that line of scrimmage. And that will take us to the 4th quarter. It's 3rd and 4 on the 13-yard line, but we're going to finish this drive. We'll see if we finish this drive on the other side of the field, north side of the field. 28-7, Knights lead the Hawks. We'll take a quick break and be right back. Stay with us right after this.
Vaping sucks you in quick, and the more you vape, the harder it is to quit. Not to mention all the chemicals and health problems. That's why thousands of teens are joining My Life, My Quit. Visit mylifemyquit.com or text Start My Quit to 36072.
Dear Savvy, who says you can't have it all? You've got the tech, you've got the drive, and now you've got Toyota value. Toyota, let's go places.
Welcome back to this IdahoSports.com GameStreams production of the 2025 Idaho High School Football Playoffs on the NFHS Network. 4th quarter underway, 28-7, the Knights lead. They run to this left side, lined up on the far hash. That's Elam Minor it's Elam Minor once again. So now 4th and manageable, but still 4th down. Good 3rd down stop there from Hawks to start this 4th quarter. And if Hawks badly need this stop to get back in this ball game. No scores in the 2nd and 3rd quarter for the Hawks. The Knights have scored in every quarter of this game in comparison. Sweetwood under center, 3-back set that they've been running all night long, heavy set. He's going to take it himself, feeling his way forward, he bounces outside to the opposite side, trying to stiff arm a tackler. And finally gets out of bounds, and we got a flag on the play. We'll find out what the laundry is. Sweetwood stiff-armed his opponent into Saturday morning. Waiting for the call from the officials. And Sweetwood, great decision to bounce to the opposite side of the field and continue to engage the defender. Stiff-armed him. And we have a blindside block by the offense. So that amazing stiff-arm run from Sweetwood is negated. And so now Borgman's going to come on to attempt the field goal as they're lined up on the 6-yard line. That's going to be no, excuse me, not this. It was on the 6-yard line on that run. Now they're going to spot him at the 24. So that's going to be a 41-yarder for Borgman. So we'll see if Borgman can hit home this 41-yarder. Borgman's longest is, I think, 42, 43 yards. He awaits the snap. Snap is good, hold is good, kick is up. Does it have the leg? No, just short. Rylan Borgman can't get it to go. In that cold weather, it's tough. The 41-yarder is not good. So score remains 28-7, and the Lakeland Hawks get the stop they need to get back in this ball game. An update score for you. Coeur d'Alene leading Madison 21-0 with 6:01 left in the first half. Coeur d'Alene giving Madison the business, so representing North Idaho pretty nicely as the East Idaho team, Madison, struggling against CDA, that's 6A football, to be specific, not in the 5A ranks. And now we get finally a slant on that far side, but ball falls incomplete. Pass intended for number 21, Broxton Lukey. Haven't heard a lot from the wide receivers this half as Lakeland elected to run the football, give us a heavy dose of the run, and it was working for them until it wasn't, as they weren't able to convert on that 4th and short off a missed pitch on this side of the field. 11:02 remaining in this ball game. Hawks are down 3 scores. I keep saying that. 3 scores. A run to that far flat and really nowhere to go. Tacklers hats to ball very quickly. Great job by the Hillcrest defense to swarm to the football. Defensive corner Dustin Medlin's got to love that swarming defense that his boys have given him all night long. 3rd and 8 on the 22-yard line. And on this drive, Lakeland clearly decided we have to go score and score now. But 2 throws have only given him 2 yards on this drive. Watch for them to hit a deep post. Maybe a soft zone slant. 3-step drop for Hillman. He finds his receiver and just overthrows him. Pass intended for number 17 of Lakeland. And he was there, but just overthrew his man. Trent Boardman was there. And number 3 from Hillcrest, Ethan Saunders, the DB, was there to try to break that one up. But boy, if Trent Boardman can bring that one down, if that ball is just a little bit lower, Boardman would have been off to the races because he had a step on Saunders. So the punt is going to be away. That punt is blocked. And I'm not sure why they're not trying to catch that. But it's going to be down to inside the 30. And I don't know why they didn't try to catch that punt as it was blocked. And maybe the players didn't think it was blocked, and that's why they didn't recover it. And maybe it wasn't blocked, but from our vantage point, it looked like someone got a hand on it. But if it wasn't, maybe a smart play there to not touch it and not get drilled and commit a fumble. Those are plays you don't practice too often when the punt barely goes, 10 yards. So a muffed punt there by Lakeland. And Lakeland really out of sorts this second half, really since the first quarter drive that scored the first touchdown of the game, and so far their only touchdown of this match. 10:01 to play in the fourth quarter. Winner goes on to the semis, the Final Four, if you will, of the 5A tournament. Good run up the middle. More hard-nosed football from Hillcrest. And that was a pickup of 9 from Dak Sargent. And really can't say enough about this offensive line, how much push they've gotten, and the lead blocker is getting some great push as well. On every run play, they're getting second level, and if they are hit at the line of scrimmage, the runners are able to turn those legs and get extra yards, and sometimes even evade the tacklers off a spin move or those stiff arms that we've seen. Sweetwood under center with 3 backs behind him. He'll hand it off. And that time, Lakeland gets the stop at the line of scrimmage. And that was Bo Ellsworth on the carry. He's the transfer from Bonneville. He was having a good career with Bonneville, transfers to Hillcrest. And Bo Ellsworth, that's his first carry of the game, and just gets back to the line of scrimmage. .840 and counting in this one. No Dak Sargent in on this play. This is Elon Minor. Again, gets second level and crosses the 15-yard line. Elon Minor, such a great runner and only a sophomore. He's going to be here for a long time. What a benefit for the Knights to be in these games, that they can develop talent like Elon Minor. And he has taken advantage of the snaps he's received this season, and he's become a second option to Dak Sargent. Again, a fun palindrome where he is 23 and Dak Sargent 32. Sweetwood under center. Hands it off. Ellsworth spins out of a tackle. And I said Ellsworth, but that was number 10, Ellingworth. So not Bo Ellsworth, excuse me, but that was Ellingworth on the carry, number 10 for the Knights. And we got some penalty markers down after, right at the snap. And it was encroachment once again. I think that's Lakeland's 5th encroachment on the night. But the last 2, no offensive linemen have fallen over, so that's good. No damage done, no injuries, right? So Hillcrest gets another gift from Lakeland. It's not even the holidays yet. We got to get through Thanksgiving before we can start giving gifts, but Lakeland has given 5 of encroachment itself. So more power football from Sweetwood. Under center, hands it off, but he's dropped. Barely gets back to the line of scrimmage is Elam Minor. And now it's 28-0, Coeur d'Alene leading Madison at half. So first and goal, we're going to say they're on the 5-yard line. Behind Sweetwood is Ryan Meekum. They hand it off to Sargent, and he pushes through. Can he get in? They're going to say no. He is short of the goal line. He really tried. He tried to turn his body as he was being tackled to gain a few more yards. You love it when your running back falls forward. But on that one, couldn't fall forward enough. Great tackle there from Lakeland. Sargent's so good at continuing to move his legs. So 2nd and goal on the 1. You wonder if Sweetwood will push this one in himself. No, he'll hand off to Sargent, and Sargent is in for 6 more. Love to award the bell cow back. The thunder of this team, Dax Sargent, is in for 6 more. And that's our first score of the 4th quarter with 5:57 to go in this game. And it's another 1-yard touchdown run, this time from Sargent. Borgman on to attempt the extra point. High snap, but it's brought down, no problem. Borgman puts it through for 1 more. Your score midway through the 4th quarter, Hillcrest 35, Lakeland 7. Make the memories last a lifetime by owning the digital game file of this game for just $15. Just click the Download Archives button to order yours. And join Idaho Sports Nation on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. Watch Prepcasts and get updates, breaking news, pictures, and more. And are you interested in joining the team here at IdahoSports.com? We are always on the lookout for talented people that want to get involved in what we do. Salespeople, producers, camera operators, writers, photographers, even broadcasters. Come join Fuzz and I on this broadcast. Email editor at IdahoSports.com to find out more how you can join the team at IdahoSports.com. And don't forget to check our expanded list of regional prepcasts from North Idaho, East Idaho, and the Magic Valley. Every week, bringing you the top stories from the different districts throughout the great state of Idaho. Top stories from these high school athletes, bringing us a little joy on Friday nights and throughout the year. Hillcrest in full command of this game, up 28. And that is going to roll past into the end zone and through for a touchback. And there's some extracurricular afterwards. Flag is thrown. And another flag thrown. This one's going to be against Hillcrest off the celebration from the penalty. So the Hawks will have a penalty called against them, and I believe Hillcrest will also have a celebration penalty called against them, celebrating the penalty that was called against Lakeland. And just silly taunting penalties, maybe a late hit from Lakeland, and a silly taunting penalty from Hillcrest. Don't need that as you're making a push for the state championship. And that's number 21 from Lakeland, unsportsmanlike conduct from Broxton Lukey. And more unsportsmanlike conduct from number 42, Ethan Lords. So those penalties offset, and it'll be Lakeland ball on the 20-yard line. Under 6 minutes to play in this one. Halfway through the 4th quarter, Joel Richardson with Fuzz Taylor on the camera. Fuzz been bringing you our power boosters and ad reads. And Fuzz, what do you got for us on those power boosters and ad reads?
Well, did you know that becoming a power booster on IdahoSports.com is a great way for you and our business to be seen by tens of thousands, even hundreds of thousands of current and potential clients and customers. And the best part? It's 100% deductible. Just email sales at IdahoSports.com, and within 24 hours, your business can be proudly seen on your favorite schools' teams, schedules, rosters, and conference standings. Do you have what it takes to be a power booster for your school on IdahoSports.com?
Want to thank Fuzz for helping us with the ad reads, and thank all of our power boosters and companies who have helping us bring this game to you. Produced by IdahoSports.com, live on the NFHS network. 35-7, Hillcrest leads the Lakeland Hawks, and except for that first quarter tie, it was 7-7 after one, but early on in the second quarter, Hillcrest scores, and it's been all Hillcrest since then. One more touchdown in the fourth quarter, giving us a score of 35-7. 2 touchdowns in the second, a late touchdown in the second from Hillcrest, and a nice play here from Lakeland. A long first down play gets to the 35-yard line. Excuse me, the 41. And that was a beautiful pass from Hillman to Jace Taylor. Love to hear more of Jace Taylor's name, as Lakeland, again, they elected to run more earlier in the second half, and then their second drive of the second half, they decided to throw a little bit more, ended up having a punt, and that punt really went nowhere. So you wonder if Lakeland will mix in some running and passing, and they do mix in the run here. Trying to break all kinds of tackles and brings with him almost the entire Hillcrest defense. That's a great run there from number 6, Griffin Tamagni. Griffin Tamagni has been the thunder for this Lakeland run game. Again, over 1,000 rush yards this season, 18 rushing touchdowns. But no touchdowns tonight for Tamagni. Hillcrest have kept him at bay. Another run from Tamagni, and isn't able to get back to the line of scrimmage. That'll bring up a 3rd and 3. And here's another penalty marker. Should be unsportsmanlike conduct committed against the defense. So a gimme from Hillcrest, and unsportsmanlike conduct, 15 yards for Lakeland. And that's exactly what you don't want to see if you're the Hillcrest coaching staff. You're up 35-7. You keep playing hard in these last 5 minutes, but there's no reason to give free plays and free yards. 1st and 10 on the 38-yard line in Hillcrest territory. Starting to get a little chippy out there. Run to the outside. He's got a man to beat. Can he? No, he can't. He's brought down just short of the 20-yard line, and a flag thrown off that tackle. Excuse me. And looks like that's going to be a face mask, committed against Hillcrest. And another 15 yards tacked on to that nice run play from Tamagni. And that's committed against the outside linebacker, Dax Sargent. So with 4:38 to play, Hillcrest has now received 30 yards of free yards off a face mask penalty and an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. 30 free yards will definitely get it done when you're looking to get back in this ball game. Hillman hands it off. Here's Tamagni fighting tacklers, and he gets in for 6. Touchdown, Lakeland. And then we call that a broadcaster's blessing. I was saying Tamagni had no touchdowns this game, and he answers the call with an 11-yard touchdown rush thanks to 30 penalty yards given by Hillcrest and a couple great offensive plays on that drive. Extra point is up and good for Lakeland. 35-14 with 4:22 to play in this game. So far, a touchdown scored by each team in this fourth quarter, bringing our score to 35-14. And let's hear it from for how you can become a Power Booster, Fuzz.
So, becoming a Power Boost on IdahoSports.com is a great way for you and our business to be seen by tens of thousands, even hundreds of thousands of current and potential clients and customers. And the best part, it's 100% tax deductible. It's just email sales at IdahoSports.com, and within 24 hours, your business can be proudly seen on your favorite schools, teams, schedules, rosters, and conference standings.
So Lakeland gets back on the board thanks to a couple big chunk plays, including about a 20-25 yard pass play. And 30 yards of penalties committed by Hillcrest. And Lakeland takes advantage and gets in for 6. 35-14 is your current score with 4:22 remaining in this game. End over end kick, collected at the 10-yard line. He's got room to run looking for blockers, and he ends up kneeling the ball just on this side of the 20-yard line. Good decision there from Mason Davis, the star wide receiver for this Hillcrest team. Mason Davis last week had 6 receptions for 108 yards and a touchdown, and he has 8 receiving touchdowns on the year. Mason Davis been mostly quiet tonight. He's had a couple good catches and some good yak after those catches. Over the top and on those slant plays, on those outside routes. So with 4:18, Hillcrest is happy to run this ball as they can continue to milk the clock. Sweetwood, though, is gobbled up as Lakeland know it's coming as he tries to run to the right side. And we have a timeout called by Lakeland, and I believe that's the first timeout of the half. We'll take a quick break. Stay with us. You're watching the IdahoSports.com GameStreams production of the 2025 Idaho High School Football Playoffs on NFHS Network.
Vaping sucks you in quick, and the more you vape, the harder it is to quit. Not to mention all the chemicals and health problems. That's why thousands of teens are joining My Life, My Quit. Visit mylifemyquit.com or text Start My Quit to 36072.
Dear Savvy, who says you can't have it all? You've got the tech, you've got the drive, and now you've got Toyota value. Toyota, let's go places.
Welcome back as Jaden Milano is now in the game at quarterback for Hillcrest. And Brennan Mossholder loves to develop his young guns, his young players. And number 5, Jaden Milano is indeed at 5'9", 165, the backup quarterback as a senior. He and Sweetwood have been together in this program a long time. And we got another penalty committed. And this one against the defense on a face mask penalty. And so 15 free yards for Hillcrest. So this game was mostly penalty free except for a few encroachment plays in the first half. Second half, ton more penalties as things have gotten a little more chippy. It's getting cold out there. The tackles get a little bit more slow, a little more lazy. And you end up stretching for something, and you end up grabbing that face mask. Pickup of 2 for Hillcrest. That was number 11, I think, Tate Prince on that run. Lakeland calls another timeout, and we'll take one with you. Stay with us. We'll be right back here on this game, on this IdahoSports.com GameStreams production on the NFHS Network.
Dear Friday, we've got power tailgates to power game days. And a trailer backup guide. That's the champ of the ramp. Toyota trucks. Toyota. Let's go places.
Welcome back. It's 2nd and 8 on the 42-yard line, 35-14. Hillcrest leads the Lakeland Hawks. Milano in the shotgun. Awaits the snap, takes it. He'll take it himself. Filling his way forward, cuts inside. Milano doing work, gets all to the way past the Hillcrest logo and past the 50-yard line for a first down. And as they move those chains, once they move those chains, that clock will continue to roll in favor of the Knights. Up big late in the fourth quarter. 2 touchdowns scored by each team in the fourth. Only 1 touchdown scored in the third. 2 touchdowns scored. 1 touchdown by Hillcrest. 2 touchdowns scored in the second, and 1 scored in the first by Hillcrest. Only 2 touchdowns bookending this game by the Hawks. Here's a handoff run to the left side. Evades a tackle, and he's going to go all the way. 10-5, touchdown. Ellingford shoves a tackler down and continues to pay dirt. Oh, and there's a flag down. The 47-yard touchdown is negated by a hold, and that may have been what sprung Ellingford for that long run, but still, man, Ellingford, a he-man play there as he threw down his potential tackler and pushed the rest of the way for 6, but the touchdown is negated by that holding penalty. Instead of 6 points, they're back on their own 48-yard line with 3 minutes and counting to play in this game. Hillcrest Knight fans can sniff the semifinals, but these boys know that this game and even the next are not enough for this program. Quarterback takes it himself. Hit hard at the 35-yard line, but carries tacklers to, they're going to say, the 43-yard line. Good hard run there from Jaden Milano. Again, the 5'9", 165-pound backup quarterback to Sweetwood, whose night is done. Ran for 3 touchdowns, 2 1-yarders and 1 8-yarder, 2 in this first half and 1 in the second half, and orchestrated beautifully this offense throughout the game. Milano in the gun. We got 3 wide on the 2nd and 6 play. He hands it off to Ellingford. Ellingford gets a few more yards. It's not going to be enough for the first down. Line to gain is at the 37-yard line. So 3rd and 5 on the 41. And 90 seconds to go before this one is over and fans can head to the semifinals with their team. Hillcrest, that is, as Lakeland season likely to be over. But I love that Lakeland's playing hard till the end. They'll definitely be back next year. Big hit at the 40-yard line, but again, Milano continues to push forward. Stout quarterback on the quarterback keeper. And they stop the clock to measure. Is it a first down? It is a first down, so we'll stop the clock to move the chains. And with under a minute remaining, that should do it. 1 kneel, and this game is over. And there is the kneel, and that's going to be the ball game. 35-14 is your final here at Westmark Stadium. Lakeland will head home empty-handed, and Hillcrest continues on their journey to repeat as 5A champions. We'll recognize the sponsor. Be right back for a post-game show. Be right back after this. Welcome back to Westmark Stadium, home of the Hillcrest Knights, and it's home of the semifinals bounds, Hillcrest Knights, as they defeat the Lakeland Hawks by a score of 35-14. And really, except for that first quarter, it was all Hillcrest Knights as they methodically drove the ball drive after drive, scoring 35 points. They didn't score on only one drive of the game, and on that drive they had to punt it away. That was in the first quarter. A sensational offensive effort from Hillcrest. And then the defense held this Hawks team to 14 points. This Hawks team averages, we'll get that stat for you right here. Lakeland averages 38 points a game on the season, and they only give up 11. Well, they weren't even close to that on either of those averages, as they gave up 35 and only scored 14. So phenomenal effort by Hillcrest defense as well. Able to get a turnover or two and get a few turnovers on down. Phenomenal play from Hillcrest. And they will go on to the semis. Lakeland will head home, but they will be back next year, no doubt. Last thing we get to do for this IdahoSports.com GameStreams production on the NFHS network is award our IdahoSports.com Player of the Game, which is presented to you by the Idaho Office of Highway Safety, reminding you to always keep your head in the game, whether you're on the field or the road, be in the moment, and free from distractions. Our IdahoSports.com Player of the Game has got to be Mr. Tyson Sweetwood, who had 3 rushing touchdowns and 1 passing touchdown. Those touchdowns included 2 one-yard touchdowns, 3 one-yard rushing touchdowns, and an 11-yard touchdown throw to his wide receiver Prince with 6 minutes remaining in the first half. A phenomenal game from Sweetwood. Again, 3 rushing touchdowns, all 1-yarders, and 1 throwing touchdown, 1 throwing 11-yard touchdown. Makes him our IdahoSports.com Player of the Game. Next week, it'll be Hillcrest playing the winner of Twin Falls and Century. Looking forward to finding out who that winner is going to be and who Hillcrest plays. And they'll, I think, get to choose whether it's here or at the ICCU Dome. This has been an IdahoSports.com GameStreams production of the 2025 Idaho High School Football Playoffs on the NFHS Network. This postseason broadcast was presented by Project Filter, your local Toyota dealer, Your Health Idaho, Next Steps Idaho, Ideal Idaho's College Savings Plan, the Idaho Bull, Valley-Wide Cooperative, and the Idaho Office of Highway Safety. This broadcast was also made possible by the great support from these local businesses.
By our power boosters, Java Express, Sunnyside Automotive, MVP Rentals, The Roof Resource, Grand Peaks Affordable Quality Healthcare, and Teton Auto Group, Titan Machinery, the Bank of Commerce, Schwab and in Rantham, Northwest Paint and Body, and Super One Foods.
Special thanks to Athletic Director Larry Stocking and everyone here at Hillcrest for their hospitality and help in getting this game broadcast to you. Congratulations again to our IdahoSports.com Player of the Game presented by the Idaho Office of Highway Safety, Tyson Sweetwood. 3 rushing touchdowns, 1 throwing touchdown. Thanks again for joining us as the Hillcrest Knights defeat the Lakeland Hawks by a score of 35-14. For my broadcast partner,
Kyle Taylor,
and everyone else behind the scenes here at IdahoSports.com, I'm Joel Richardson saying be excellent to each other. Have a great rest of your weekend, and we'll see you next time on IdahoSports.com.
This has been a presentation of IdahoSports.com GameStreams. This broadcast is copyrighted to IdahoSports.com. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or other use of this broadcast without the expressed written consent of IdahoSports.com is strictly prohibited.